What's up guys, welcome back to Proxima Reviews. We have another new unboxing here. This is the JBL by Harman T450 pair of headphones. It's a pair of on-ear headphones. Okay, the stuff that it has. This is a JBL pure bass sound. Therefore, it has a little bit more of an enhanced bass signature. It's lightweight and foldable design. This is due to the fact that I think it's made of mostly plastic, and we're gonna see how that's gonna go. It has one button though, with a remote and a microphone. This remote is probably an on and off switch or a play and pause switch, and a microphone to it, so that's pretty good. I hope the microphone's good. I would like a volume up and down button though, but alright, let's see. And it has their, I think it's a signature tangle-free cable, the flat one, because I think all of their products that use a wire, that still use a wire, actually use that. So I bought this in Lazada from Spoil for just 899 pesos. That's approximately 18 bucks. That's pretty cheap for a pair of headphones, especially for one that comes from a very reputable brand such as JBL, especially by Harman. And I hope it's good. Let's see it. Let's open it. So, for one, the box is really nice. Looks good. Looks like the typical JBL design packaging, which is nice. And there are just some dents on the box. Probably this is from shipping, but that's okay. It's well protected enough. Right. Take a look at this. Here we go. Oh, nice. Oh, there's our ever trusty manual. No, they're not always trusty, but they're manual. Not the JBL ones. I've had some JBL products before. They had pretty good manuals. But I've also had some products before from other manufacturers that have really bad manuals, really hard to understand. And I think I have a video that features one of those. Alright, so here we are. Some pretty tough plastic right here. That's nice, keeping your device or your headphones well protected inside the box. So let's try to get this out. I love the fact that these are also blue. Just saying. That's some attention to detail, because they could have used the black one. Nobody would mind. Probably people like me would mind, because I would see that. And yeah, I think they should use blue, because when you tie it here, they're gonna see that it's black. So, pretty cool, JBL, pretty cool. Alright. Great tangle-free cable. Had some experience with that before. It's actually a little bit harder to tangle. That's kind of true. Let's take this off. Pretty decent cable length right there. Not the longest cable, but you don't always need a cable that long. Right, the wires go to both headphones. Most of the wired headphones these days actually have a detachable wire, and most of them actually just go to one, because usually there is a cable that runs from here all the way here for the other pair, but this one doesn't feature that, and that's probably because of the price point. It's really cheap. Those are the things that they could cut the price from, and I honestly think most people wouldn't complain about that. If you need a cheap pair, it's okay to have those things as long as it works and it sounds good and that it's not uncomfortable. Probably it's good. So here, as you can see, it's made of mostly plastic. Yep, this is also plastic too. Usually these would be metal on other headphones, but here it's all plastic. And the whole thing is made of plastic actually. If you're wondering why I bought blue, Actually, the store didn't have the black one anymore or the other colors. That's why I was forced to buy blue. But then I like blue as a color. Actually, my favorite color, blue, but not this shade. But then it looks nice as a blue one. It's not a bad shade of blue, and actually cool. So yeah, so this one folds and spins. It turns like that, so that you could put it in your bag, and you can even make it smaller by folding it like that. Here, there you go. You can probably buy a case for this, and there are a lot of cases that you can buy that's gonna fit this. So this is nice because it's gonna fit very well inside bags instead of the ones that just fold in like that, and this makes it so bulky. So I appreciate the fact that this folds in like that. And I guess not every pair of headphones can do that, especially the ones that are really cupping your ears. This one is an over-ear pair. So yeah, I love that small detail that the bands are actually orange, because yeah, this is JBL, guys, real JBL. So yeah, it's orange there, and it looks pretty cool, and it makes me feel like, yeah, you have a JBL product. All we gotta do is plug this in and check out how it feels and how it sounds, and then I'll give you my comments about it. So stay tuned. I'm just gonna test this out today, then I'll continue this video and tell you what I think about it. I hope it's good. So stay tuned, guys. So I was spending this whole afternoon listening to these, trying them out. I've listened to different genres of music, from hip-hop to rock to classic pop to jazz even. I listened to my lo-fi playlist also. I listened to some indie pop and even hard rock, stuff like AC/DC. Tried them on with these. And all I could say is I was blown away by this pair of headphones. I couldn't believe you could get that good of a quality of headphone sound at just $80. You could probably save up for that in a month or 2 months. You could do some stuff, some work, and you'd probably be able to earn something like that. They are outstanding, especially for the price. Given an audiophile perspective, probably these aren't near what is considered a great pair of headphones. They're pretty decent. I have some comments about them later, but overall, I was blown away by this. This is really good, and I hope actually that more people knew about this. So here are some of my comments about it. Alright, so for the construction, as I've said a while ago, it feels pretty cheap, but the plastic is very refined, so it doesn't look cheap. If you like tap it and hold it, and you know, if it's yours, it's probably gonna feel cheap. But at first sight, I was really blown away by why this displayed 899 pesos at the store. That was really cheap. Yeah, you can get this on Spoil JBL on Lazada, or even at the JBL flagship store on Lazada, but they were actually out of stock. And I hope that's because people were buying them, because they're pretty good. The cable is flat, that's really nice, therefore it's tangle proof. It doesn't really tangle, it doesn't accidentally go into knots. It has a play and pause button, that's great. It folds in your bag, that's also nice. That's some of the good stuff about the construction. Durability, these should be okay. The plastics are very hard, and they're actually good quality plastics. Even if they're refined, I think no part of the plastic is actually compromised, and they aren't any less durable this way. Although, since it's plastic, it's still more susceptible to breaking. So just don't overbend it and abuse it, and probably try to buy a protective case. I think those come in cheap also. So for the sound is really good for its price. It's a good quality sound. Everything is appropriately clear. The passive noise cancellation is good. That means active noise cancellation is some technology, right? Passive noise cancellation means how is the seal of the device, how does these foam or whatever outside covering of the device block out outside noise. Actually, they form a pretty good seal around my ear. They fit really well, and I like them. These, when you press them, they go up really quick, so these are probably not memory foam, these are just regular foam. But it actually feels really comfortable. Although sometimes it gets a little bit hot. And I think that's given, especially for most on-ear headphones, and even the over-ear, like the ones that cup your ear, they still get hot from time to time. But the thing I like about this is it actually gets cooler very fast. If you just take it off and make it rest, just put it after probably just 30 seconds or a minute, and it's gonna be cool again. It's not gonna retain the heat from your ears and from your body. So that's pretty good about these ones. The seal is also really good, especially when you're playing music. When you're playing music, you can hardly hear the people talking around you, and I was surprised that this could do something like that, even if it doesn't have like active noise cancellation. That's pretty good. So when I played it, yeah, as I said, everything is appropriately clear. It plays good voice. The vocals are really good. Not just vocals in songs, but even when you're watching a podcast or on YouTube, you were pretty good. So I think these are good for podcasts, YouTube calls, and video chats. It also has a decent microphone actually. Not the best, but it's clear, especially when you have less ambient noise. It's pretty good. For the comfort, yeah, the foam cups, they are comfortable. Not the best out there, but they do the job, and they're not totally uncomfortable. They're not bad. They're actually decent. Actually good. Especially because they're cheap. The headband actually, even if it doesn't have any padding, it's actually not uncomfortable. If you just get it to lay flat on your head in a nice spot there where it doesn't hit your probably the sharp part of your head, of your skull, it actually lays in pretty good, and your hair can act as like its padding. And because it's really flat and wide, it never hurt my head the whole time I was using it today. Some points of improvement and some comments about the overall design, the feel, and the sound. Yeah, it kind of feels cheap because it's just plastics, but that's acceptable because of the price. I hope it had the volume buttons, not just the play and the pause. The sound, from probably an audiophile perspective, I'm not sure if I could call myself that yet, but I do have some audiophile grade earphones and headphones that are pretty good, and I'm kind of knowledgeable about what to look for when listening to stuff. And I'm actually, my friends and family know this, I'm very, very particular about my sound, and I don't just buy an earphone, buy headphones from the store and use them. No, it's not that simple. So the bass on this, and I think it is an extra bass kind of product, actually really strong, but sometimes it overpowers the weak volumes. The bass, it's not so balanced with the treble. So this is probably, take note of this if you're the type of person who really wants a good piece of audio and not just for casual listening. And if you're very, very particular about your sound to the point that you want your music lossless and everything, and you're not just listening on Spotify, maybe you could listen to these words. But I also have a comment on what I'm gonna say later, so just watch it through. Yeah, so the bass is not so balanced with the treble. You might like it if you're into hip-hop, and if you're a lo-fi person who loves overpowered and thumpy kinds of bass signatures. Because of that extra bass, you can really connect with the vibrations. Like if you want to feel that, because the bass is what you feel when you're listening to music. It's that frequency that you feel. So you might like it. But I noticed that the bass of these ones tend to get a little bit muddy and disconnected with the entirety of the music. So when I listen to rock and roll, the bass guitar was a little bit more present to the part that it kind of muffles the other instruments. Probably not gonna be noticeable if you're not looking at this. I'm just gonna say that because you might think this is a bad product because of what I'm gonna say. I'm just speaking from probably a vantage point of a higher standard and some experience on really good pairs of headphones and earphones, which are probably 5 to 7 times the price of this one, and even more, some even 10. Therefore, this is not something that you really have to keep in mind if you just want a decent, not even decent, a good pair of headphones to use and to vibe with and to listen to your music and talk to your friends and be on call with. This is really good. But for those, as I said, who are looking for something really good, this is something you should listen to. So yeah, the bass overpowers at weak volumes. For this, the emphasis is the extra bass signature. It's kind of muddy, but it's not really bad. The music as a whole, though, because of that, feels kind of disconnected. I can kind of see there's a division between the treble and the high on one side, and then the bass kind of becomes its own machine. It didn't feel like this was what was composed by the artist. It feels like there's an extra generation of bass that this processes and not really authentically what you're listening to. So that's probably something to keep in mind. But the highs are actually very clear, very crisp, but it doesn't reach the peaks too much. The mids are clear, and that's very important because that's what ties in everything together. There is, though, a perception that the mids and highs are playing a bit far from your ear. I'm not sure what does that, but you know, when you're using regular headphones, it's really close to you, but then this one, for some reason, it kind of feels like it's far from your ear, unlike other headphones that I have. But it's not really something that bothers me. It probably just gives me less definition and less stuff to actually find detail in, but it doesn't take away from the overall experience of listening to my music. And actually, the stuff I said, you could probably try to compensate with your music app's equalizer, because most of them have it. But overall, I was really blown away by this product because the product is very, very good, especially for the price, $899. If you are willing to disregard the stuff that I said, from an audiophile perspective, someone who loves their music and has experience, and even to those who kind of have experience and may not be as informed but are still particular about their music, listeners, they want to connect to their music. And one thing that this gives that makes you connect is that it has that extra bass signature, which is really good for most people. Most people will like that, especially when they listen to pop music, hip-hop. If that's what you're into, you're gonna like that. It's actually really nice. And more than the particulars, it's the overall experience that really matters for me whenever you listen to these stuff. And I'll tell you the truth, I may have said some stuff about how this could be improved, but you can only really see that if you're really particular in looking at it at that specific moment. But if you're not trying to find out what it lacks, you're not gonna see it. You're just gonna experience your music and you're just gonna have fun. And as long as there's nothing that is very, very obvious that it takes away from your music, like some really cheap pairs of headphones, you can't even hear the bass anymore, stuff like that, as long as nothing like that happens, I'm pretty sure you won't even notice it. And if you haven't tried better, you're gonna think these are the best headphones you could buy. And as I said, it's the experience that counts, not the specifics. The specifics, that's only if you know what to look for and you know really better about your audio. But if you don't, the experience will blow you away. And as I say to some of my people who ask for, so some of my friends who ask for some audio advice from me, the stuff that I say, you might not even notice when you're listening to these and just jamming to your music. But what you will notice is your wallet starting to dry up. That's what you're gonna notice. And with this, just being 899 pesos, it's a good risk to take, and it's actually not that big. It's actually very cheap. And for the experience that it's gonna give you, because it has a very complete sound signature, even if it feels kind of disconnected, and probably just to me, it's complete. And it's not lacking anything. I want to lessen and tighten some things, but there's nothing that I want to take in and just suddenly put here, because it's pretty complete to me. It's a great overall sound to the price. It's very hard to know. It's very hard to notice the specifics about it. I suggest you buy this. I recommend buying this, especially if you're new to headphones, and if you wanna buy the more expensive ones, probably just buy these stuff first and build your taste alongside building your wallet before investing in relatively better pairs of headphones. But aside from that, it's really good and this will do the job for you. And at a pretty cheap price, this would be pretty good for people right now, especially for students who are gonna have online classes and teachers who are gonna have to teach their students and be at home because of this pandemic. This is probably something good that you could buy because it has good passive noise cancellation, that it's going to be harder for you to hear the ambient noise around your house, like your dogs barking or people talking, especially when you have to hear what your teacher is saying, or if you're the teacher who has to hear what your kids are saying. It has a microphone so that you don't have to scream directly into your computer, because the microphone is actually already closer to you. And at 899 pesos, with this level of completeness in the audio and in this level of comfort, actually, surprisingly comfort, this is a good buy. And I'm pretty sure you're not just going to use this for your calls, and you're probably also going to use this for your music, which is a pretty good experience overall to me. Yeah. So that's my review on this JBL T450 model at 899 pesos. Thank you guys for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more reviews and more products coming from Lazada that we're gonna try out and view together here on our channel, so that you'll have an idea if you want to buy them or not. Thank you guys for the support and for watching my channel, and I hope I'm doing you the great service, actually giving you the right information to buy or to not buy the products that I have already taken the risk to buy, to review, and to give you guys the information that you need. So thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day.